to use their card against them. Oh my god, it actually is 10 mana. I thought it was 10. Oh my god, actually I want you. So boom, we immediately throw this out, so we get to see Renekton and Nasus level 3 on our side of the field. So I see your Egyptian god cards, but how would you like to see my Egyptian god cards, Yugi? Yugi, how would you like to see my Egyptian god cards? Hello everyone, Gomez here again with another deck for you today. This one is actually one I've been wanting to cover for a while now, because obviously when the cards got released, I saw this card and I was like, yes, I really want to use it. So let's get into a loaded dice deck. So the deck is called Lucky Rolling, and yeah, I've got to say, I've been wanting to cover this for a little while, but obviously there's like so many cards and so many different concepts and ideas that it's been hard to get around to. Now obviously this concept has actually been covered by a few different people. I definitely know for a fact that Saucy Mailman's definitely covered this. I think that maybe even Grappler might have covered this as well, but it's basically the idea of if you use Out the Way with loaded dice, using Out the Way means that after you've used this, if you use loaded dice after that fact, then it means that that is a continuous effect. Literally anytime you do damage to the enemy nexus, you're gonna be nabbing a card off of them. And so if you use it twice, that means every single time that you do damage, you're stealing 2 cards. If you were to play 3 copies of it, then it means that every single time you hit the enemy nexus, you're taking 3 cards. I'm actually only running 2 copies of loaded dice. My reason for this is because it's quite a big mana consumption, and if you don't find Out of the Way, then it can be quite a hard thing to work with if you don't find that. So this deck is actually like, it's formed to help you in a few different ways to win. So obviously you've got this ability of stealing loads of cards from your opponent and finding like their strategies in order to beat them with their own strategies. But not only that, if you can play Out the Way, because literally this card is the 3 cards from Targon are literally just Out the Way, so it's a full-on allegiance deck, which is why we don't mind running the Elder Grifter, because yet again we're just running the full-on nab package in this. But what we've also got is Mind Meld as a lovely finisher, because bearing in mind, if you did not know this, once you use Out the Way, if you use Mind Meld, it is a continuous buff that they stay. Like anything that got hit by Mind Meld stays at its raised stat line. So that's another thing that like is a really nice combination, because we're using this to use loaded dice. We might as well put this in there. Now this is obviously got Burblefish in, because Burblefish is such a powerful thing, and obviously with the Mind Meld and with Out the Way, giving them like the zero costness of being able to put these out and then Mind Meld. I know that some people consider it to be a cheap strategy and people don't like Twisted Fate Fizz as it is, but this is not your standard Twisted Fate Fizz, because we're not running it with what's its face P&Z for all that damage stuff. We are doing this purely for nab mechanics, and because that's why we've got Slotbot in there as well, because like technically Slotbot can really escalate very quickly with the amount of steals that you can potentially do, as well as the fact that I said like, hey, we've got the Out the Way with Mind Meld and this. So this is how this deck operates. I feel like most things are covered. There's definitely room for change. Like you could remove the Monkey Idol from this. I like having it just because it's like I said, I can know it's gonna make damage happen for potential nabs, but it's not a necessity. You could definitely run 3 loaded dice. I choose not to, because I said I consider if you've not played this, it's quite a big mana consumption, or like something which is going to take up room in your hand that you can't do anything with. There is actually room for potentially more draw, so potentially running Salvage, or like maybe slipping in a few more Targon cards like Power Cascade, just to give yourself a little bit more draw. There is the options for this, but this is the deck as I run it. The games you're going to be seeing, I did stream, because I was streaming with this deck as I built it. So if you want to check out, so shameless plug time, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. If you didn't know, which it already said, like on Twitch, you can catch me on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, UK times, so the times that are stated on there, as well as the fact there is the Discord link down below if you want to join the Discord. But if you run this deck, please let me know how it goes, and if you make any changes, please let me know down in the comment section down below. But honestly, big thank you to everyone who's supporting me. Honestly, you're helping this little curly-haired mustachio man's dreams come true. So thank you so much for everyone who watches, everyone who shares my content, everyone who subscribes and follows. I've got an end-of-year goal of trying to hit 5,000 followers slash subscribers on both YouTube / Twitch. We're already halfway there on YouTube. Twitch has still got a way to go, but I feel like we can hit that end-of-year goal without problems. But it's all thanks to you. So thank you all so much. I hope that you enjoy how this went. And as I said, if you want to come catch the action live and see when these things happen, please feel free to catch me on Twitch, because all these games you're about to see were streamed. So without further ado, let's get in and see how this deck did in a couple of matchups. Zone Moon Man with PNZ. So I'm actually going to keep this. Get rid of you. I'm actually going to keep warning. Actually, I'll do we keep warning shot. I'm going to get rid of that. I guess what I want is parlay. Like, if I had my options here, it'd be parlay in my hand right now. Just because if Zoe drops, just to have that immediate ha! But, so we've got our dice. We've got our out the way, and we've got our dice. So, that's an okay start. We are gonna need our warning shots, our parlays, our hoodafoos, our twisted fates, our fizzes. That's what we're gonna be needing right now, is all of those things working with us. But firstly, I'm willing just to take the pass right now so that we can play it. I mean, admittedly, I am allowing my opponent to do significant things to me while I'm just trying to get off a very stupid combo. But it's okay, because admittedly, it's not the worst amount of damage. Maximum, this is going to be... So 1 damage going into my core gets that up by 1. So maximum 4 damage. I can live through that. And hopefully, we might end up stealing their Healy stuff. So it's okay. I've got no objection to it. The main thing is you need to have a way of defending it, because obviously vengeance, ruination, and many other things such as that are things. So as long as you've got a way to defend it, you'll be fine. So I could play this. What we're going to do instead is we are going to at least have something on the field of play. So, I said I needed lifesteal, and the deck provides. So as long as I've got something to defend myself, like, so much of me is actually thinking maybe Slotbot. Slotbot would have been the better choice, because at least Slotbot would have meant that, like, you know, as we're stealing cards, like, it's going to start to really add up. Plus, we wouldn't have used as much mana. We would have used, like, 1 less mana, meaning that loaded dice wouldn't have been as bad. But we have already used out the way, which now means that if we use loaded dice, this is a permanent effect. Like, we will, every single time we deal damage, steal cards from our opponent. They've got Zoe on the ball, which is, like, you know, not the best. And they've just used this without getting the invoke, but we will take it. I know! Facepalm indeed, my friend! That's a very powerful invoke card that you've just wasted there. We're going to do this just so that now, every single time, we're going to just start going for a free-for-all. Going for a free-for-all. So, you die. What we're going to do is, so, we take a lot. We take a lot of damage. But what I'm going to say is for the greater good. Let's just, steal. I mean, that's actually a really good card to kill Zoe. Oh, we can heal ourselves. We'll find all the solutions. We'll find all the solutions from our opponent. I really want to play Slotbot, because, like, every single time that we're nabbing just all the cards. But we do need to deal with you. We need to wait until they're past Bastion levels, because obviously Bastion they can still throw on to save her right now. So potentially, are they going to go for Moonglow? Don't you find Moonglow? That was a fast choice. Okay, that's no Moonglow. So I could kill Moon Man, but she's halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Fortune. You know, like you do a move that you know that you're gonna regret, but at the same point, we have Parlay as well. We have Parlay, which potentially could remove that Zoe from the field of play. We're taking damage, but that's fine, because it then means that we can still use Parlay, meaning that we're going to be taking a card as well as killing her. Means I can kick the thermal theme back for Moon Man if it's needed. but we go with the parlay. Stealing cards. We've got heals. We've got heals for days coming off of our opponent, and heals for days coming off of our opponent. And yeah, slowly but surely we are getting the cost down of this. We could go with the warning shot, but yeah, again, I kind of want to leave warning shot for. I mean, it's starting to get where my hand has got too many cards in my hand, right? This is going to get the buff at this point. Actually, no, correct. You're going to get the buff. Oh, no, you're going to get the buff. Okay. What we want to do here is we want to keep some health going in. So we'll keep that going. Potentially stun or reducing the cost of a card. Stuns might be interesting depending on what my opponent plays. I could have gone with the overwhelm unit. That wouldn't have been a bad choice. But I just wanted to see because I see. Aha! I see your move, Yugi! They then went into, what did they go into off of that? So they've gone into lifesteal. We could throw this down to kill. Actually, it's getting to the point now. It's like, who do I want to kill? Do I want to kill this guy? I guess this guy is going to be pulling you off the field of play. I could also just go for a stun. It means that I can stun this guy for a round. Is Moonman who I want to stun here? I guess I stun Moonman. It wouldn't be the worst of my choices to stun. I'll do that. I'm gonna go with this plan. Admittedly, I could have gone with the thermal beam, and admittedly, Moonman is still an issue that I probably should deal with. I don't want to do it, but I feel that I have to. If my opponent's got a burst speed spell, they can actually get him past this, but I do have the thermal beam. I don't really want to sacrifice my man here, but I feel that I have to just for that health stat. Just for that health stat reason, I feel like I need to do that. So potentially, they try to target Fizz. If they do, then we just use warning shots. That's fine. But we've got elusive stuff on them. We've got healing. We are in an okay situation right now, especially considering the fact that I can get 2 of these guys on the field of play. So that is now just we could use their deck better than they're using their deck. I could throw you down. I feel like because that gives me mana, like I'm willing to do that because number 1, it's gonna be giving me like bonus stats, but number 2, it's also gonna be giving me. I mean, now that we've got 2 of these guys on the field of play, plus this is, I mean, they go with lifesteal. They go with the lifesteal one like already, which is fine because it's not their attack turn. So I will much accept. I mean, it's disgusting. Okay. What we are doing is 100% disgusting right now. I mean, look at this. Look at this! Look how disgusting the situation and the parlay! Look how disgusting this situation is. So I can't get you past that, sadly. But what I can do is I can potentially kill Moonman. Obviously, they could have a power cascade themselves. Actually, I guess we wait. We wait on that front, but the option is there. Yeah, it is. It's getting a bit disgusting from our side of it. I guess we could play goat. I guess we could play goat. You know, wait, because we want to be trying to force their mana down. We want to be trying to force their mana down because if we can, then obviously, as I say, do I just use a power cascade on top of Fizz at this moment in time? Get the draw going because at this actually, well, I'm not going to go forward with the goat. Why would I go forward with the goat? That'd be a silly mistake right now with the fact that they've got lifesteal going on over there. I might as well wait the turn out until they've no longer got lifesteal. Of course! Of course! The hush! I always forget about the hush. We can still use this to get rid of Moonman. I feel that Moonman's the most important one to get rid of out of their hand right now. So they use this. We then go, aha, samesies, as we now go like this on top of you. Get rid of their Moonman. They've still got the ability to challenge, but we've got a lot of their healing stuff as well. So this is, they've turned the game around, but we can turn the game back on them. So it's perfectly fine. Do not worry, everyone. They're going with Overwhelm. They're going with Overwhelm, which not a lot I can really do other than the fact that obviously I can heal for a ridiculous amount. Because whatever they attack in here, then we can heal significantly. Now faces! I wish I got their hush. So part of me is honestly considering, do we just parlay the core just to steal their hush? Could be an option. So I feel like I've got to keep all this healing back. That seems like the most important thing to me. Obviously, they're now past the ability for me to parlay this off the field of play. Like, they're going quite big on me. Part of me is honestly considering maybe even playing the lifesteal unit, because by playing the lifesteal unit, at least I'm getting a bit of healing on, as well as the fact that I can heal myself for a considerable more amount. So, depends on whether or not they go for another play. Then this on top of this is going to be just quite devastating for them, but obviously. So maybe I should have done this beforehand. So, you Equinox me, but I say no, 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 and I Equinox you back. Obviously, which could, like, you know, it just feels like getting rid of that overwhelm right now. Or we could have used this on top of their ballistic bots, but I feel like just stopping that overwhelm and challenge, especially considering the fact we've got a lot of people with 1 health, just seems like the better plan. We need to kind of be removing their options there. Potentially even... See, it's a shame, but I guess we take it because I can heal more, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. We're taking, because what I can do is I can parlay on top of this. So, I mean, this is working out unbelievably shit. But we're against the deck, which is like using like some quite nice maneuvers against us. And we're just, I don't know, it looks like we're using a standard TF Fizz deck, but this is no standard one. We are nabbing to an unbelievable degree every single turn. Every single, like, a step of the way here, we are nabbing. My opponent, I feel like I used up the cheaper option here for heals. So, let's see what we can get. My opponent must know that they are reaching the end. They must know that slowly but surely, the more things that happen, we are reaching the end and conclusion to the situation that's going on here, right? Technically, I can play slot bot next turn. I mean, like, I kind of want to go in with the zaps. So, plan is here. Maybe slot bot into zap. Oh, Twisted Fate! Twisted Fate, red card. Just such a funny move at the moment because we will be stealing from them. Twisted Fate, red card. Never lost. I mean, obviously, my opponent could have many different things that could work with them, but Twisted Fate, red card. We go with the steals. We've got this. We've got a power cascade for free. We've got a power cascade for free, so we've got a draw there already. We can even use... Oh my god, the devastation! The fact that we've stolen all of their landmarks! So, I mean, it gets to the point of massively unfair, right? At a point, you've got to admit that things have gotten very stupid and somewhat unfair. So, I mean, yeah, that's what I mean, because obviously we could play Fizz, we would then get the mana back, which would then mean that we could play Zap Spray Fin, and then we could go forward with an unbelievable attack and steal loads of cards. Ooh, we are playing against all 3 Egyptian God cards. All 3 Egyptian God cards. It can be a devastating deck. Okay, get rid of Mind Meld for now. Out the way is good, because that just means that if we can find Mind Meld, or if we can use... What's its face? If we can use... Okay, so I'm just gonna throw the Fizz out immediately. Okay, so they go with Sun Disc. So, because we've got a warning shot if they try to target Fizz anyway. But we go like this. Save the mana this turn. Going into it. We've got all of our out the ways. We just need to find the dice. Potentially running 3. I decided to roll like only throw 2 dice in. It is a huge mana commitment, and that's the reason why I only put 2 in the end. So pass the turn. That now means that we can throw it out the way. That means that if we find our dice are now going to be continuous. I mean, obviously, Rite of Negation, that's fine, because I got another one. I do have another one. It's perfectly fine. And that's 1 Rite of Negation out the way, but I do have another out. It's a good job I have the other out the way in the hand, right? That's fine. I'm willing to accept the charges, officer. Next turn, another out the way move. Out the way again. So we go again. Potential, another right of... Okay, no right, so that now just means that our, what's his face? Our dices will be permanent if we can play dice. Renekton coming at me. Can at least deal with that. Also, Fizz is now permanently elusive as well. That's very important to remember as well. So, Start the stealing. Treasures of the ages for a price. Stealing starts. Obviously, we're gonna presume they're gonna take that. Oh, the ability of Twisted Fate is quite nice. It's okay. It's okay. I'm willing to accept these. I'm willing to accept. Okay. Willing to accept the damages coming at me. To quite a devastating degree. Actually, I could just go for a stun, I guess. So, go with the stun. It now means that I could warning shot in to pick a card. My opponent's health is getting quite down. We're stealing more things. Not that that's useful to me in any way, shape, or form, but at least on the positive side, it's helping Twisted. We have the ability of using this on top of Renekton as well. So, I'm willing to accept the damage from the clock. Also, actually using this, because Twisted Fate does have quick attack, so potentially the ability of using this is also a nice maneuver. Okay, so they're going to go Siphoning Strike. I've not got the ability to be able to take this. This is not the one which takes their attack down. I wish I had... Was it Quicksand right now? Okay, so we're going to be losing Twisted Fate. Because, yeah, that's not sadly... It doesn't do anything to help me out here. So, we lose Twisted. They do get the buff. They do get a buff, but obviously we can at least make sure that he's going to die. As well as the fact that I'm still attacking in here. So they go with the Hourglass. Nice moves, actually. Nice moves. Nice moves, I concede. Okay, he's still going to be vulnerable. I'm actually going to throw out Slotbot at this moment in time. As much as he knows that I could go with the steal, I'd rather throw Slotbot at this moment in time. Fizz for potential rally maneuvers. At this moment in time, I feel secure. I feel secure in my abilities, so I can even take... I could even be willing just to take 9 damage right now. I could also use this just to get his health down, like a considerable amount. So, using this gets his health down a considerable amount. It would actually keep that buff as well, by the way. Maybe I should have given that buff onto Fizz, but take that down. It leaves me with potential, like... parlay as a move. Gives me the potential parlay move to be able to like potentially remove Renekton from the field of play. Obviously, there we go. He goes into another Hourglass, but he will still only have the 1 health and whatnot. So potentially we might be able to find another Fibbergy through playing Zap. Does mean that Zap will be vulnerable, but I'm willing to take it. We have got another parlay. If so, when Renekton comes back, you can't save Renekton forever. Accept your death. Inner Sanctum, not a bad move at all. I have to do this before they find Spell Shield, so I have to go with this before they find Spell Shield. Potentially Rite of Negation again. By willing to see if they have another Rite of Negation. They do not. Crocodile Man down. Crocodile Man is indeed down. Okay, so they go withdraw. Go withdraw. That's perfectly fine. Go forward. Go forward in here. I could actually play the Burblefish. Like, there's no reason, like, not to play the Burblefish at this moment in time. So, more parlays. Oh, the parlays for the world to see. So, we'll see what happens. You have planned for our city. Now, from what we know, here's the comedy. From what we know, when Azir levels up and makes the Emperor's deck, the bottom card is always Summon Renekton and Fibbergy at level 3. We've got a nab, which takes from the bottom of the deck. Those are important words to remember. So I could rally and potentially do a lot of damage, but there is also the potential of actually getting the Emperor by stealing Renekton and what's their face from the Emperor. We can do it, I believe. I'm actually going to throw down the Golden Assessor. Just so that I've got defense right now. But we want Azir to level up. This is going to sound really stupid, but we want Azir to level. We want him to level. Go on, do it. I dare you. I dare you. Level him. Summon everyone. Summon everyone to the field of battle. So you've got 7. So they need to summon 3 more people. So there's Renekton. So we do have to be careful. We do have to be careful on the Renekton front, because obviously he can pose a significant amount of damage. I mean, that is a significant amount of damage coming in from the Renekton, which is going to be problematic. We have to lose Fizz for what I'm going to consider to be the greater good. I really, honest to God, hope that my opponent, please, summon 1 more unit. Summon 1 more unit! Do it for me! Do it for me, buddy boo. Just summon somebody. You must have a card in your hand that you can summon. Do it. Do it, my friend. Summon! Do it! I mean, that's not a summon. That's not a summon a person. Come on, just summon somebody. Just summon somebody. You know you want to. Secretly. Secretly, you know you want to. Go on, do it. Let me see the power of the Emperor's deck. That's not what I was after, but okay. But let me see the power of the Emperor's deck. So, I'm going to immediately... Here's what we do. Okay, we throw this on them. Just play 1 more unit. Just play a unit. Do it for me. Do it for me. I want to see the lovely cinematic. Go on, do it. We get to see my lovely cinematic. I want to see your lovely cinematic. Go on, do it. Please, for me. Go on. You know you want to summon a unit. That's what I'm talking about! Okay, that has now summoned the unit, which now means that if we use our nap mechanic, we should be getting Big Boy Reductor. But, wait, how much does that spell cost? Is it a 12 cost? Crap, I might not be able to use it. I might not actually be able to use it. As much of me wants to. As much of me wants to. Is it a 10 cost or a 12 cost? What cost is that spell? So obviously we're getting all of these. Oh, it's 13. Oh, that's very upsetting. That's very upsetting because we were about to go. See, look. I see your things, and I raise you the ability of the fact that what's it? So, okay, right. It's because they're using that to kill that. It's upsetting. Because I really wanted to use their card against them. Oh my god! It actually is 10 mana! I thought it was 10! Oh my god, actually, I want you. So, boom, we immediately throw this out so we get to see Renekton and Nasus level 3 on our side of the field. So, I see your Egyptian god cards, but how would you like to see my Egyptian god cards, Yugi? Yugi! How would you like to see my Egyptian god cards? So, we now get to see the amazing level ups on my side of the field, which is just, look at the cinematics, that's what I'm talking about. Using this when I'm not even playing Shurima. So, good times. So, yeah, that's now a thing. My Nasus is leveled! My big boy Nasus is leveled! So, yeah, that's the thing. We now immediately go forward. We had lethal in the forms of parlay and that, but of course we go forward with the Egyptian god cards. Fizz attacks first because Fizz has allowed, like, this our deck is basically Fizz, but we put the Egyptian god cards in there just to let them know. But honestly, well played to my opponent. Well played to my opponent. So, we're against a probably really well thought out Nightfall deck, which you could be running the new Shadow Owls card. Get rid of you two for the time being. I could technically just parlay this. I'm not going to. I might end up regretting those decisions of not just parlaying that from the field of play. I guess we parlay you. So, next turn, I could throw out Slot Bot, or I could throw out... So, I could throw out Slot Bot, or I could use Out the Way. I'm gonna use Out the Way. I have made my decisions. I am going the most stupid way about this. My opponent definitely plays Moon Man onto the field of play right now. My opponent definitely plays Moon Man onto the field of play, but I am willing to accept. Okay, I mean, still potential Moon Man. Still potential Moon Man. I was expecting to use this.
Only a fool would enter
okay,
battle
only a fool would enter battle unprepared. Twisted Fate red card. Twisted Fate yellow card. Twisted Fate red card at least means that I can remove though, like a lot of damage from the field of play. Obviously, I'm not really protecting Twisted Fate in any way, shape, or form, but willing to do that. We went a bit too Billy Big Bollocks, but it's fine. So, still saving, forcing them to use one of their power cascades, probably on a unit that they didn't want to use it on, so I'm perfectly fine with that. I can take the damage. I can take this damage, it's fine. Gonna throw down Fizz. Throw down Fizz. We could, I feel like actually what I want to do is throw out Slotbot. Moon Man! Okay. So, I feel like I want to throw out Slotbot, but at the same point, my opponent has just played Moon Man. So, part of me is actually considering Monkey Idol. I could go with the Twisted Fate cards. Part of me is considering playing down the Slotbot and potential parlay to kill this. I mean, obviously, like, I'm just spanking all of my mana, and I really should be more careful about how I'm using my mana. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, I should be more careful about how I'm using my mana here. But I would go with killing that just because it stops their lifesteal and is getting rid of another unit. It's also going to mean that Fizz is going to permanently be elusive right now. So having permanently elusive Fizz is quite nice. Whoa! Admittedly, I should have kept something in there to save Fizz. I wish I had Warning Shot right now. That's fine. I can still go forward with Twisted Fate. Still go forward with Twisted Fate BS. Now, I've got another Fizz in hand. It's fine. I will accept the charges for my... like, where were you last turn? So, Equinox on top of that is a shame to see, but it's okay. We could actually at least do this just so that... just that, number one, we're helping Twisted draw, so we could go into Twisted Fate's draw spell. But also, we've got a bit of defense right now of what's going on in the field of play. They went into Calibrum, so expect them to use Calibrum on either side of this, like on either side of this. So Calibrum working in there. To be expected. Be expected. So I can still throw down Fizz. Still throw down Fizz and still use pick a card. So potentially pick a card on top of Warning Shot because like it's the only one whereby it doesn't matter if it also go the stuns. Perfectly figured out. Perfectly figured out. Part of me is honest to God considering Slotbot, but it's like, but Twisted Fate, I could get him very close to leveling up, and that seems to make more sense to me. As much as we think that like we could go for a defense, I'd rather go for that. I don't actually mind sacrificing Fizz's life. You know what? I'm actually gonna take. I'm gonna take damage. I'm gonna take the damage. I will accept this damage. Very stupid deck here. A true Valiant, welcome. We've stolen heals, which let's face it, we needed those heals right now. We needed those heals. But yes, Kenny, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you to everyone who's been following, by the way. So Kenny, thank you so much. Oh, okay, so they're throwing the Hush on top of Twisted Fate. That's only going to affect him for this turn, though. So obviously they went to stop the ability of getting a red card and that. Ooh, getting another moon weapon. Moon Man! But it's okay. Okay, so they're going big on me. But it's okay because I said, once they level Moon Man, but on the plus side, once Twisted Fate is out of this, I've got like cards with their names on them. So they went into Calibrum, which means they can remove either one of these two units from the field of play, but we need to wait. I don't want to attack forward with Fizz just yet because there is the potential chance of Hush. Okay, so Hush is less likely. Hush is less likely. So might as well go forward with these two because if they're going to use Calibrum on top of this guy, they're going to use Calibrum on top of this guy. So willing to do that. We're going to be losing this out the way, but we've already played out the way, so I don't mind burning this one. We're looking for our dice now. Our dice is what we're after, but obviously we've got the ability to heal ourselves. Like everything is looking a-okay, as we obviously, like I've got the ability of using Twisted Fate to start doing some significant damage in on our opponent. I could keep the ability to heal, but by keeping the ability to heal, it kind of locks me out of a number of different things, so I'd rather go for the steal. Give this card, which means that I've got all of these options, as well as an unspeakable horror right now, which will help with red carding this life stealing one. Perfectly fine. Obviously, I kind of want to wait until they play the real one. It's fine. Obviously, the hush is not good because that now means that my red card is not going to be a thing. I can still play. I've still got this. Calibrum going in there. Nothing that I can do about that. I still actually have got the heal that I could put directly into core if I wanted to. I could throw this in just to remove this free damage. Because I can still technically throw these two in front of things. So I'm willing to accept that. You can't silence Twisted Fate forever! Can't silence Twisted Fate forever. But they went into Gravitum. So I feel like I could either play Burblefish or, I mean, I guess I play Slotbot at this moment in time. With the amount that's gone into Slotbot, I might as well play that. They've got no mana left. You're already dead. And at this moment in time, I guess like I don't mind blocking there. Because that's still good. Like, what I mean by he's already dead is the fact that they Equinox that one. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Twisted Fate comes back. We've got one of their really good healing moves. What we can do here is go. I'm willing to wait to see whether or not they do go for another silence. I'm willing to wait to see. I mean, we've got all the warning shots going on for us as well. I just need my dice.
Eyes open.
Give me my dice. Top deck dice. Top deck dice. Heart of the cards, Yuki. Heart of the cards. That's not the one I needed. Gonna do that. That's fine. I'm willing to accept you being stunned. So I could actually just throw these down. But I'd rather take the draw aspect at this moment in time. I need to be careful because there is potentially an atrocity move into my core. So I've always got to be careful about the fact of atrocity. Potentially actually throwing down the Burblefish right now. I'm willing to do that. Parlay! Did somebody say parlay? So they're doing this. So potentially, it said atrocity is not gonna be a problem at the moment.
People person.
But Twisted Fate's a people person, so not gonna be a problem at the moment. I kind of want to do this because I want to go into draw. Like, the biggest thing that I need to do right now is try to find dice. Because if I can find my dice, it just means that all of these are gonna start doing like a lot of nab, like an insane amount of nab. Like, you cannot believe the degree of nab that could be coming at my opponent if I can play the dice right now. Got them down. Also, if we find Mind Meld will actually be a continuous buff right now. Because we've played out the way, Mind Meld actually keeps it as being continuous. So that would be the most ideal thing. Obviously, parlay just to try to remove Moon Man. Moon Man! So we do you just to try to remove Moon Man. I mean, at one point it was looking very much in their favour. So it worked in the end. So we're against Kindred. And Ezreal. Part of me's honestly, so I'm just going to consider getting rid of everything other than parlay right now. What we're looking for, I mean, technically I should have got rid of parlay as well. What we're looking for is we're looking to try and get out the way as quickly as possible. That's what we're looking for. Potential thermal beam from my opponent. Like turn 1 thermal beam. You know that it's always coming at you, yep. You know that that's always a thing. I wish that I had warning shot right there and there, because if I had warning shot I could have countered it. But you always need to expect it. I sometimes neglect it like I did there. But it's always the case, right? We now wait. I'm not going to play Fizz again onto that board knowing that fact. So, I'm going to play Slotbot. Potentially Slotbot could be killed by, as I said, yet again, another thermal beam. Slotbot could be killed by another thermal beam, but I'm willing to wait this out. Come on, top deck, out the way. Out the way is what we're looking for. We can at least start stealing our opponent's cards a little bit here. That would also give me a warning shot in hand to help Fizz. So, and start helping towards our Mind Meld. Like so, because we've got, that's our secondary win condition. Our main win condition is just stealing the hell out of our opponent and potentially just milling the hell out of our opponent from steals and seeing what we get from them and using their own deck against them. But our secondary win condition is Mind Meld to make some really big units and attack forward. So go with that. That's fine. So let's see what we get off of the Yordle Grifter. So
my friends, though.
Vengeance! Vengeance is nice to be able to use on top of Kindred. So we've got a Vengeance move out of our opponent. Not the worst one. As I said, we've got a warning shot, which now means that Fizz is that little bit more usable. So, potentially Static Shock. They could either be planning on playing Ezreal or playing Static Shock. Either way is a possibility. It's back over to our turn. Twisted Fate. As much as he wants to play him, I've really got nothing which is working with him right now. I'd rather play Fizz. I'd rather play Fizz onto the board right now. Wait and see what my opponent does, because potentially we could still. So they do go with playing. They do go with playing. They've still got the ability for Mystic Shot, Get Excited, and many other problems. Many other problems. I'm gonna go with draw. I'm gonna go with yellow card. I'm gonna go with draw though. I feel like is the plan here. Could have gone with yellow, but Mystic Shot is definitely coming Twisted Fate's way, I feel. But I'm willing to accept the damage, because it's going to come out one way or the other, and anything that I can force out of their hand now, which is not going directly into my core, I will accept. Potentially, for all we know, our opponent is playing a Timelines deck, and therefore, like, if they're playing a Timelines deck, then they're just waiting to get to turn 9 Ledros anyway, so I'd rather be playing these moves now, trying to get myself a little bit of draw, potentially needing to keep that Vengeance, just so that I can kill Ledros going into Dreadway if it happens, right? I'm waiting for you! I'm waiting for you! Why are you avoiding me like that? I'm the one who's waiting for you! Okay, so we've got a lot of nab stuff working for us. We haven't actually used any spells yet. I could use Warding Shot, but I'm willing to keep... Actually, we could use Parlay, but I'm willing to wait to use Parlay so that I can use these. But obviously, I am expecting this to be traded off. But okay, it's okay. We'll wait.
What did we get?
So all I need to do is wait. We've not used a single spell this game yet. Not one. Not a sausage. I expect Twisted Fate. Oh, yeah, so they're getting Twisted Fate to the point where he could die. They're getting Twisted Fate to the point where he could die.
They will.
We could use Vengeance straight up here. Twisted Fate is probably going to die anyway. And so using Vengeance straight up just means that we get to keep potentially like what could become a very big slot bot. Seems fair to me. I know that he's most likely going to die, and I'm accepting his death. I'm accepting Twisted Fate's death right now. So I'll do that. Obviously, it means that if they have got timelines, that's going to be slightly more... So, yep, no. So there's the timeline. So we need to nab. We need to nab their Ledroses. I can live with the fact that... I mean, obviously, that's actually quite a nice card, because it means that they get another 2 cost. Going into draw... I mean, I guess I parlay their core just to make sure, because obviously in that deck, there is potential counters. So, in that deck, there is potential counters that they could throw at me. So, I'm willing to do this trade-off, keep everything on my side of the field still alive, parlay them directly to core, and then start stealing. Obviously, they're going to have target spells to get rid of Twisted. I'm willing to accept it because I can play a slot bot as well. They've got rid of the other concurrent timelines because obviously they've already used one right now, so they don't need to worry about another. So, gonna go with this. But I expect Twisted Fate to die. I honest to God expect Twisted Fate to die before his level up. He's dead. That's gotta be a spell to kill. Yeah, I was gonna say, he's dead. You know that he's dead. Okay, so what we could do here is I wait because I might as well get the reduced cost. I might as well get the reduced cost by playing like Treasures of the Ages, bro. We're trying to find their Ledroses right now. We're trying to find their counterable Ledroses because it's all I've got. It's all I've got as a plan. See whether or not we can find their Ledroses. So we're finding a lot of their draw actually. Potentially actually playing slot bot. We've got one slot bot on the field to play right now. I guess I want to be using more spells with the more spells that I'm using. So, okay. Got a little bit of drainy stuff. Little bit of drain. Okay, we're stealing a lot from them. At this moment in time, I might as well get rid of you. Okay, parlay! We could draw again if we really wanted to.
This is gonna be fun.
I feel that at this moment in time, because we need to just be trying to force them down. So I'm willing to accept losing my merchants. I'm willing to accept losing my merchants right now because I've not found my dice and I've not found out the way, and we are basically just trying to beat our opponent down right now until turn, because obviously turn 9 Ledros can come. So next turn, there's our out the way, potentially a turn too late. Okay, they don't know what they're up against. So gonna throw the out the way out. Gonna throw the out the way because obviously if they've got Ledros, I've got no way of countering right now, unless obviously I nab the answers from my opponent. So go for trying to kill Fizz. We can stop that. We can stop the attempt on Fizz's life. So we can. They wanted to try and make it so that we couldn't stop what's his face. They wanted to try and make it so that we couldn't stop Ezreal. Okay. We have got. So they're gonna go into that. We have got the ability of using Grasp of the Undying. We might actually have to just sacrifice Fizz's life for the greater good. They've got a lot of elusive. Actually, potentially just keep Fizz alive, right? Potentially just keep Fizz alive. We could actually use this on here. What we need to do is we need to find more nab. We need more nab! Burblefish coming at you. Burblefish coming at you. But what we need to do is find more nab because all it takes is one Ledros. All it takes is one Ledros. My opponent is willing to wait because they know that they've most likely got that one Ledros. We wait. We wait.
Spin,
but
you win.
Potentially Ledros coming at me. What I can do is, if nothing else, I'm going to get rid of this slot bot. I might end up regretting that decision. Okay. So we can go warning shot. I mean, if Ledros drops and they go immediately into what's their face, like Dreadway, there's nothing I can do about that. But what I can do is warning shot into parlay, into potential mind meld, or even throw it out. I mean, or do I want to keep this back in case they try to target Fizz? Do not find the one. 60% of the time it works every time. Okay, they did not find it. They did not find it. It's close. It's close, but not close enough yet. So we can accept. They have spanked all of their mana in so doing, which means that obviously, so we get finished. So potentially what we do here is we use Grasp of the Undying, going into a parlay. So let's see, this is possible, right? Grasp of the Undying into parlay. Like, I feel... No! Why would you? Don't do this when all the moves are about to work out for me! How dare you concede during the fear of the battle! So yes, that is the lucky rolling deck. As you can see, some really great things that can come out of it. Like, I know that a lot of people don't like the nab mechanic, but I personally think it's like it's one of those things which keeps you on your toes, and that's why I don't actually mind it personally. But as you can see, this deck has got a number of different things in it that can really either use your opponent's strategies against them, potentially mill them, or you've got the ability of obviously using Mind Meld as a finisher as well. So that's what I like about it. It's loads of different ways of using this deck. So please feel free to let me know if you run this deck, how it goes for you. If you make any change to it, yet again, let me know down below, because this deck did actually do percentage wise, it probably won a lot more than it lost. I'm gonna say roughly about 70% of the games that I played personally, which I played roughly, I don't even know how many games I played on stream, a number of games I played on stream, but it definitely won probably more than it lost. But please let me know, what you think, as well as the fact that obviously you can catch the action live on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, as well as there's the Discord link down below if you want to get in there and talk all things deck creation and like just having a good laugh, because there is a games night and a movie night which is running that Discord, so you want to come and get involved with that, get on mic and play some games, watch some terrible films, please feel free to. But honestly, thank you all so much for the support. I hope you have a great day, evening, or whatever it is for you, and until next time, bye.
Flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.